As you all know, I have been on a crusade against many of these silly blue check Negroes on Twitter. And this one right here stuck out to me like a sore thumb. Now, mind you, I don't go looking for this stuff. I really don't. People tag me in these things because I think people value my opinion on a lot of issues. And as you all know, a couple days ago, Idris Elba had came out and said that he tested positive for the Wuhan. And I put out a tweet. I said black women are probably going to be fainting all over the place when they hear this and everything like that. Well, maybe a few minutes or an hour or so later, after that came out, someone had tagged me in this post right here. And it was actually a black woman. I believe she follows me or subscribes to me on Twitter. I know she follows me on Twitter, and I know she probably watches my videos as well. And she was basically saying, now, if a black man had did this to a woman and put out something like that, and it was maybe his like favorite celebrity crush, and she came out and said that she had the Wuhan, and he put out something like this about her, then all those feminists would have came out and said something. And I said, she's absolutely correct. So in this post, you see someone her name is Bria Celeste. And as you can see right next to her name, she has that blue check. Now on your screen, it looks white, but if you go to her page, it's blue. And the caption reads, "Me saving Idris from the Wuhan." And it's a picture of this doctor or this nurse or whoever she is, and she has her hands pressed up against this guy's private area, and he looks like he might be a soccer player, and she's doing like what should be compression, which should be for the chest, but on his groin area, which could be seen or should be seen as sexual harassment. Now, you have people like this person who wrote this tweet make a joke about someone who most likely has an illness and how they would choose to quote unquote nurse them back to health by placing their hands on a man's private area and then making a joke about it. But if a guy was to say this about, let's say, Halle Berry, and he said that I'm me saving Halle from the Wuhan, and he put his hands either on her breast or on her vaginal region, then all of these feminists and these intersectionalists and whoever else in the world would come out and they would attack this man in packs. But when a woman does this or shows this in a jokingly way, then it's a problem. Now notice at the bottom of the screen it says failed to load tweet. That's because I think she probably muted the tweet. She didn't delete it, which is why I was able to retrieve the screenshot. She didn't delete the tweet, but she muted it, which means you can't see the thread. But it says 25,000 plus retweets and 112,000 likes. Now, that's probably a combination of people who thought it was funny along with her and probably other people who were going in on her. I would hope that the people, well, I know the ones who are of sane mind were the ones that went in on her, like I'm going in on her now. And not just her, but those with that mindset. Because see, a lot of women, the thing is, they don't expect a lot of men to come forward and say when they've been sexually harassed. I mean, that's why a lot of men are scared to come forward. One, because they feel like they're going to be embarrassing. Two, they don't think that men can be sexually harassed or, taken advantage of by another woman. And, people saying, how can a woman rape a man and all types of stuff. Cardi B basically said last year in a video that got revealed that she would take, her Johns or whoever they were and drug them and have all kinds of like sex, whatever with them. And sometimes, or maybe even thought about bringing trannies into it as well, unbeknownst to the man. And people tried to make it seem like, oh, that was so long ago. Why are you bringing up the past? See what they did? They basically defended her, and then she still continued to be rewarded even after that stuff came out. And to this day, people don't even bring it up anymore. And she said it twice on video. As a matter of fact, the second time she said it, she doubled down on it. and mentioned even more information that we didn't know. This again is why me and some others refer to this as a gynocracy, because only in this kind of structure could a woman get away with posting something like this or saying something like this, and she doesn't get that kind of pushback. She may get some pushback, but not in the way or the level that a guy would. But they are the same ones that want to talk about equality. I'm telling you, these feminists and these intersectionists, they don't want equality. They want dominion. But they mask it, they disguise it as equality, because in their minds, having dominion and having control and power is equality or equal to them. They don't know the meaning of the word. This is exactly why many of them are not world leaders. Because when I brought up like how women should not be like in presidential positions, and I brought up Margaret Thatcher, and then someone else had brought up I forget the woman's name. I think her name was Mia something. I think they said she was the second female prime minister after Margaret Thatcher, but it was years after Margaret. They said she was worse. I'm like, how could you be worse than the Iron Lady? And I don't think they've had another female prime minister since over there in the UK. They said Margaret Thatcher almost brought down the whole daggone UK system by herself, and Mia whoever almost finished it. But see, the thing is, a lot of these feminists, these feminists, they hate the patriarchy so much, but they benefit off of it at the same time. It's crazy how that dynamic just kind of plays itself out. And as for the black women that are quote unquote feminists, I don't know what the hell y'all were thinking even joining up with them. I keep saying that over and over and over again. I will never get that image of not Margaret Sanger, but of Gloria Steinem and that black woman holding up the fist back in the 60s. That image will forever be ingrained in my head when I saw that. I wish someone of the Black Panther Party would have held up the Black Power fist, say with Lyndon B. Johnson or J. Edgar Hoover. You would never hear the end of it. Or George Wallace. But y'all held up the Black Power fist with Gloria Steinem, an agent, a CIA agent. And that picture will always be etched in history. Now, I know I kind of went off on a tangent a little bit, but I just had to get that out there. But this right here is nothing but hypocrisy. And then if the tweet was still there and she didn't mute the thread, underneath it, she said, I was just joking and everything like that. The only reason she came back and said she was joking because she made the tweet not immediately after she made this one. She only got that because she got a lot of pushback. So now she had to try to cover up and say she was joking. She was not joking because I'm sure many people would have thought to try to, do the same thing, or they agree with her. She was being serious. And not only that, but let's just put it out there also. Idris Elba is also a married man. He's not this single bachelor or anything like that. Sorry, I had to pause it right quick. But yeah, Idris Elba is a married man. A lot of women were very proud. A lot of black women were proud to say, I'm glad that he got with a black woman. But here you are disrespecting her by putting up stuff like this and what you wish you could do to this guy who is married. So that also lets me know what kind of tip you're on. No pun intended. Like I said, it's amazing of the stuff that I will find on Twitter. I tell you, social media has exposed a lot of people. It really has. Some good, many bad, and just as many that falls into the category of worse. But I'm telling you, the blue check Negro never fails. All I'm showing you is examples of those who are campaigning for that blue check and those who have it. And I'm telling you, they're like one and the same. I don't know which one is worse. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you follow me on Twitter if you haven't done so already. Have your notifications turned on, and I will talk to you in the next one.